Tweens, welcome back to our series 24, a day that changed the world. You know, too many people have the idea that once you become a Christian, everything's going to go smoothly from that point on. But that's not what Jesus taught us. In John 16:33, we learn that life is full of troubles and difficulties. Each day, we'll be in a fight against our enemy, the devil. But Jesus has already defeated the devil, so we do not have to be afraid or worried. We have a lot to learn about that in our lesson today, but before we do that, let's check in with our special agent, Jack Bow Wow, to see what today's training involves.
The following takes place between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Events occur in real time.
Oh, Rubber Ducky, you're the one. Rubber Ducky, lots.
Okay, perhaps we could speed up a bit after I have already gotten dressed for work. Oh, much better. Hello, recruits. It's me, Special Agent Jack Bow Wow. Don't you just love that sound? I am a high-level training supervisor for a very important organization known as Q-Tip. Q-Tip stands for Questionable Training in Progress. As my personal recruits, I feel that I should clue you in on what has happened to me today thus far. This morning, I had already gotten dressed and put my suit on when I realized I was in a bit of a hurry. I hadn't eaten any breakfast, so I ran over, grabbed my hot cup of coffee and my toast, and headed straight for the door. Well, as I ran towards the door, I didn't notice my little puppy dog Palmer laying in the middle of the kitchen floor. I tripped right over Palmer, and my hot cup of coffee went in the air and got all over my suit. Not only that, but Palmer ate my piece of toast. Well, by the time I had changed clothes, I was running so far behind, I got into my vehicle and sped to work. Well, wouldn't you know it, I got a speeding ticket on the way here. It was as if everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. You know, life is full of days like that, or even worse. Even followers of Jesus have troubled times and bad situations happen to them. Don't think that just because you become a Christian that life is going to be all candy and roses. Oh, far from it. Bad stuff happens. It's just part of life. But in your training today, you're going to learn about a promise that Jesus made to the disciples at the Last Supper. And it's a promise that he made to you and I as well. This promise will be exactly what you need to get you through anything that life throws at you. Now, as usual, I may have to contact you throughout the day. So set your satellite to this frequency and I'll break in when necessary. Well, time is of the essence, so I'm going to let you get into your training. Until next time, this is Special Agent Jack Bow Wow, signing off.
Thanks, Jack. Wow, I'm looking forward to hearing about that promise. But first, let's find out what Grandma Bow Wow and Max have to share with us today with our What's Up.
Hi, Q-Tip recruits. Grandma and Max Bow Wow here with another What's Up message. We are talking about what to do when things go wrong. So anytime someone asks you, what's up, you tell them, no matter what happens, Jesus gives me peace. You know, today my grandson Jack was in a bit of a hurry and spilled coffee all over the new rug and his puppy Palmer. After I cleaned the carpet, I was taking the bucket of water back into the kitchen to pour out, and I didn't see Max sleeping on the floor. I tripped over him and hit my head, and I ended up getting 6 stitches. Poor Max, he felt so bad that he went and pulled some flowers from the garden for me. Isn't he such a smart dog? Life is full of ups and downs. Some days you just wish you could go back to bed and start over. But Jesus has promised us that even though we will have trouble in this world, he has overcome the world, and he can give us the strength and the peace to live each day in this world, no matter what comes our way. So anytime someone asks you what's up, you tell them, no matter what happens, Jesus gives me peace. Now, if you'll excuse me, we have a little gardening to do, don't we, Max? So we'll see you next time for another What's Up message. Max and Grandma bow-wowing out.
No, no, no! It's all wrong! It's all wrong!
Whoa, TikTok, what's going on? What's wrong?
It's not what's wrong. The question is, when is wrong?
What in the world does that mean?
No! You were supposed to ask that question 17.5 seconds ago. It's all wrong. Time is wrong.
Oh, now listen, Theodore.
TikTok. Call me TikTok. Tick is the nickname for Theodore.
How'd you get Tick out of Theodore?
When things are off time, I get nervous and I start to tick.
Ugh. Oh boy, it's okay, TikTok. Good boy, good boy.
Thanks. I needed that.
Okay, that's good. Okay, now just take a deep breath and tell me what's wrong.
I told you. Time is wrong. I'm a time traveler. Unraveling the mysteries of time is my business. And today my calculations have all been wrong. All wrong. Like this morning, I was supposed to meet Thomas Edison and help him to screw in a light bulb, but I arrived 15 seconds too early.
Well, first off, time travel isn't real. And secondly, 15 seconds isn't that bad.
What? Isn't that bad? 15 seconds too early and boom! I landed right in Thomas Edison's toilet. His toilet. Now, he's going to be known as the inventor of the plunger. Way to go, TikTok. Real professional.
Oh, no, Tick. It sounds to me like you need some peace.
Piece of what? Piece of cake? Pie? Pizza? Where is it? I'm a real emotional eater.
No. Calm down. I'm not talking about that kind of peace. I'm talking about peace as in P-E-A-C-E, as in the peace Jesus gives us. Wonderful peace.
No, thanks. I traveled back to the 60s once. Everybody was saying, peace, man. Nobody ever showered or shaved. It was the opposite of peaceful.
Well, this is a different kind of peace. The kind of peace the world talks about doesn't last. You see, life is full of hard times, like heartbreak, mean people, sickness, death.
Yeah, like landing in Thomas Edison's toilet.
Yeah, sure, that too. You know, the world isn't perfect, but we don't have to worry.
Don't have to worry. Don't have to worry. I splashed toilet water into the face of one of the greatest scientists of all time.
Okay, I'm not saying you just ignore the bad stuff, but what I am saying is you can give all that to Jesus and he will give you his perfect peace.
So if I have Jesus in my heart, I can just pray to him and he'll give me peace?
Exactly.
Oh, thank you. I haven't felt this good since George Washington complimented me on my cherry-picking skills.
I'm glad you're doing better, Tick, but you know, you gotta stop with the silliness. You're not a time traveler. If you were, where is your time machine?
I couldn't possibly tell you that, but I'll give you a clue. It involves hollowed-out pumpkins and a pony named Clarence.
That doesn't make any sense.
Who said it has to? I'll see you later, boys and girls. I'm TikTok, and I'm out of time. Bye now.
Bye.
Hi kids, we have been learning about the events that happened in the last 24 hours of Jesus' life on earth. You might remember that we left off with Jesus and the disciples all having a meal called the Last Supper. Jesus had talked to them about serving each other and the fact that he was about to leave earth to go to heaven and prepare a place for them to meet him one day. Towards the end of the meal, Jesus began to talk about something very different. He said, "In this world, you will have many trials and sorrows." The disciples were probably a little shocked. Why would Jesus be telling them this? If this was the last big speech before he went to heaven, shouldn't it be a little bit more encouraging? Why would Jesus want to predict that things were going to get hard for the disciples? The reason Jesus did this was because he's omniscient, all-knowing, and he knew what was going to happen in the future. The disciples were about to face tremendous difficulties. They would be hated, beaten, jailed, and most of them would be even killed for telling people about Jesus. Jesus knew what was coming, So he didn't want the disciples to be surprised and discouraged when it did happen. Then, after letting them know that life was going to get hard, Jesus shared something incredible. Jesus said, "But take heart, for I have overcome the world." Jesus was telling the disciples that they could have courage and peace. They didn't have to worry and freak out. Jesus was promising that he would take care of the disciples. Nothing can stop the power of God. Today you're going to learn the same lesson the disciples learned. You're going to learn that even though this world can be very difficult sometimes, Jesus will give you the peace and the courage you need in the midst of trouble.
Hello, recruits. It's me, Jack. Listen, by now you've probably heard about Jesus' promise that he made to his disciples at the Last Supper. Well, that promise is one that will help you and me get through all of life's most difficult situations. Oh, life is full of tough times, and we need to remember this promise. So, it's the most important part of your training, and I want you to sit up straight and pay close attention. This could change your life. It's a lesson your leader is going to teach you called When Things Go Wrong. Until next time, this is Special Agent Jack Bow Wow, signing off.
What would life be like if nothing ever went wrong? What if nothing bad ever happened to you? What if you had everything you ever wanted? All the toys and gadgets and all the coolest stuff? What if no one you knew ever got sick? And you had all the candy you could ever want and never got a single cavity? Is this what life is like? No, of course not. Life isn't perfect, and we have many troubles, heartaches, and problems. The sad thing is, some people believe that the life as a Christian should be perfect. They believe that becoming a Christian will make all the troubles in life disappear. That's not the way it is. Jesus taught us that life is full of hard times. When Jesus was sitting at the table with the disciples, he didn't say, "Guys, nothing bad will ever happen to you again." Jesus said, "In this world you will have many trials and sorrows." So why did Jesus feel the need to tell the disciples that life was full of hard times? Up to this point, everything had been pretty good for the disciples since they decided to follow Jesus. They'd seen many amazing miracles, but they didn't know what was about to happen. Jesus was preparing them. Have you ever had something really bad happen to you? We all have. Maybe you have had a family member that died. Maybe you got really sick and were put in hospital. Maybe you've been bullied at school. We don't like it when things go wrong. Remember, this world is full of sin. We live in a broken world. And the Bible tells us that our enemy, the devil, roams this earth looking to kill our dreams, steal our joy, and destroy our hope. Being a follower of Jesus doesn't mean life is going to get easy. But the good news is, because you follow Jesus, you don't have to worry when things go wrong. Jesus said, "But take heart," after he told the disciples there would be many trials and sorrows. Do you know what it means to take heart? It means have courage. Don't be afraid. Don't worry. Do you know why we don't have to worry? Because Jesus gives me peace. When Jesus rose from the grave, he conquered sin, Satan, and death. Because he did that, we can have peace in the midst of trouble, knowing that he has overcome the world. In the part right before our power verse in John 16:33, Jesus said, "I have told you these things so that you may have peace in me." When someone in your family dies, you can have peace in Jesus. When you get sick, you can have peace in Jesus. When you're getting bullied, you can have peace in Jesus. We might have hard times in our lives as the follower of Jesus, but we can also have peace because we follow Jesus. Can you imagine living life without Jesus? You would still have hard times and trouble. The problem is you would have hard times without the peace of Jesus. If you're going to have difficulty in your life, wouldn't you rather go through it with Jesus? We don't know what's ahead. We don't know when bad things will happen. But we can have peace and be courageous because we follow Jesus. He is the one who knows what's going to happen before it ever does. He is in control of everything, and he's always by our side. Okay, let's watch as Dr. Fullerwax tries to decipher the secret message, our power verse today.
Well, children, it is I, Dr. Fullerwax, and I'm back with another secret message from Q-Tip's code book, the Bible. I shall discover and decipher its true meanings. Isn't that right, Mr. Cuddles? This week's secret message says, "Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world." John 16:33. Now this is an interesting message. Perhaps if I have some help saying it, then it would become more clearer to my brain. How about if the girls stand up and help me? Are you ready, girls? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Very good, girls. Now you can sit down. Now I need the boys to stand up to say it with me. Then maybe I can figure out what this message means. Ready, boys? On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Great job. You can have a seat. Now, I think I've actually cracked the code this week. You see, I have been having such a hard time with my henchmen lately. They're giving me such a headache. I tell them to execute my elaborate plans to eliminate Agent Bow Wow, and they always seem to mess it up. They get arrested, knocked out cold instantly, or they completely forget what to do. For instance, my recent plan was to go and capture a rare ruby from a museum. Instead, they brought me back the receptionist named Amber. Not even the same crystal. I don't know what to do with my stress. But this code is saying that life is full of hard times, and not to worry, that Jesus will give us peace. I may have solved it. But just to make sure I got it, let me have everyone stand up and say it with me. Ready, everybody? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. John 16:33. Good job, everybody. You can have a seat. Well, Agent Bow Wow, looks like I cracked your code and learned something that would make me a better person. Nah, I better get back to trying to crack Q-Tip's code book, the Bible. Until next time, I'm Dr. Full of Wax, and this is Mr. Cuddles bidding you adieu.
We're going to play a game to find out how much you remember from today's lesson. For every question you get right, give yourself a score of 100 points. 1,000 points is a perfect score. Here we go. Did you get them all right? I'm sure you did. Well, kids, that's all for now. May God bless you and keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord look upon you and give you peace. Amen. Let's sing about the goodness of God, even when days are hard. See you next week. Bye for now.